Imagine the scene. You're in the middle of a walk, on a trip, or even at home relaxing, when suddenly that old, familiar feeling shows up again. The burning sensation when urinating, the constant urge to go to the bathroom, and that uncomfortable pressure in your lower abdomen. It's as if your bladder flashes a red warning light, and your whole body cries out for help. For those who suffer from recurrent urinary tract infections, this isn't surprising. It's almost routine. And I know that, for you who have experienced, nothing is more exhausting than living with the feeling that peace could end at any moment. Now, let me ask you an honest question. Have you ever wondered why, even after taking medications, doing exams, and following medical advice, the infection keeps coming back? The answer may lie in something very simple, but often overlooked: your diet. That's right. What you eat every day may be the key to transforming your urinary health. The body speaks when it's vulnerable, and the bladder, especially as the years go by, needs extra care. Some foods have an impressive power. They cleanse, strengthen, and act as true natural guardian, preventing bacteria from finding a place to trigger another crisis. And the good news is that these foods aren't expensive, don't require complicated recipes, and can be easily incorporated into your daily routine. In this video, I'm going to reveal the 10 most effective foods to cleanse your bladder and help stop urinary tract infections in seniors. We're not talking about miracle solutions, but smart choices that can reduce symptoms, decrease recurrence, and give you back the freedom to live without that constant fear. So, if you want to understand how to turn the tables against urinary infections, stay with me until the end. I'm sure that once you discover these foods and learn how they work in your body, you'll realize the answer you've been searching for might have been much closer than you imagine. Before we go on, let me ask you something important. If you haven't subscribed to this channel yet, click the subscribe button now. Our goal is to reach 1,000 subscribers, and every new person who joins makes a huge difference in helping this content reach those who really need it. And listen, I also really need your help with comments. YouTube only delivers this video to more people if we have at least 100 comments, so leave your participation down below. Tell me if you believe food can truly help strengthen the bladder and prevent urinary infection. Your opinion is essential. You've probably heard the saying, "We are what we eat." When it comes to urinary health, this expression is even more true. What we put on our plates doesn't just satisfy hunger, it also nourishes, strengthens, and even protects specific organs in our body, such as the bladder and urinary tract. When we think about urinary infections, many people believe it's all about the bacteria, but the reality goes further. A weakened bladder, a fragile immune system, and a nutrient-poor diet can turn any small threat into a painful crisis. That's why the right foods act as natural shields. They boost immunity, reduce inflammation, and create a hostile environment for bacteria. Here's something few people talk about. As we age, the body loses efficiency in absorbing and using certain nutrients. This means that, in the senior phase, food choices become even more crucial. Every meal can be an opportunity to reinforce your body's defenses against new infections. That's why understanding the power of food is fundamental. They don't replace medical treatment, but they can be the deciding factor in preventing the infection from coming back. And it's exactly this foundation that will prepare us to discover the list of the 10 foods that can transform your urinary health. Let me emphasize again what I said earlier. Your interaction is essential. So leave a comment telling me if you've ever tried parsley tea, or if you usually add parsley to your daily meal. I want to know if you believe simple herbs can really help cleanse the bladder. The more comments we get, the more YouTube understands this is an important topic and shares this video with others who suffer from urinary infections. Now, let's talk about parsley, one of the most powerful foods when it comes to urinary health. Many people see it only as a flavor enhancer, but in reality, it's an impressive natural diuretic. That means parsley helps increase urine production, and this process is essential for those battling urinary infection. After all, the more urine the body produces, the greater the chance of washing out the bladder and expelling bacteria that try to cling to the urinary tract walls. Parsley is also rich in antioxidants and vitamin C, two key nutrients for strengthening the immune system. And when immunity is low, urinary infections appear more often. Therefore, consuming parsley regularly not only cleanses, but also creates a natural barrier against new crises. The best part is that it can be used in several ways: in green juice in the morning, as tea before bed, in salads, or blended with other fruits. It's simple, cheap, and effective. But remember, too much of anything can cause the opposite effect. So, the best approach is to include parsley as part of a balanced routine, without overdoing it. If you suffer from recurrent infections, it's time to start looking at parsley differently. This simple herb could be one of your greatest allies in keeping your bladder healthy and avoiding that discomfort that disrupts your life. Few people associate carrots with bladder health, but this simple and accessible food can have a huge impact on those who suffer from recurrent urinary infections. Besides being rich in fiber, carrots contain a large amount of vitamin A and antioxidants, which help protect the body's mucous membrane, including those of the urinary tract. This means regular consumption strengthens the bladder's natural defenses, making it harder for bacteria to stick. Another important point is the anti-inflammatory effect of carrot. Carotenoids and bioactive compounds help reduce internal inflammation, easing the irritation that often accompanies urinary infection crises. For those who've felt that painful bladder sensation or the constant pressure in the lower abdomen, any food that reduces inflammation is a great ally. Carrots also support hydration. Since they're mostly made of water and fiber, they aid digestion and indirectly benefit the urinary system. A well-regulated intestine reduces pressure on the bladder and decreases the risk of bacterial overgrowth near the urinary area. Carrots are also versatile. You can eat them raw, grated into salads, cooked, juiced, or in light soups. What matters is keeping them in your routine and taking advantage of their nutrients. Plus, when eaten with a small amount of healthy fat, like olive oil, vitamin A, absorption becomes even more effective. It may not seem obvious, but this everyday vegetable offers much more than benefits for vision and skin. In fact, carrots are silent allies in fighting urinary infections, strengthening the bladder, and reducing the chances of new crises. Among foods that benefit the bladder, red onion deserves special attention. It's rich in anthocyanins, the pigments that give it its deep color, which also act as powerful antioxidants. These substances help fight free radicals and reduce inflammation that harms the urinary tract. For people with frequent urinary infections, this anti-inflammatory effect makes a big difference by easing discomfort and protecting the bladder from constant irritation. Red onions also contain sulfur compounds like allicin, which have natural antibacterial effects. These compounds create a less favorable environment for harmful microbes to thrive, boosting the body's defenses. You could say red onions act like a double shield, fighting inflammation on one side, making life harder for bacteria on the other. They also support the immune system. By providing vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, red onions enhance the body's natural response against infection. This is especially valuable for seniors, who often have weaker immunity and need consistent support. In practice, red onions can be eaten raw in salads, sautéed in dishes, roasted in the oven, or even in therapeutic juices combined with other vegetables. When eaten regularly, they help keep the body balanced and reduce repeated infection risks. It's surprising to realize that such a common ingredient, present in almost every kitchen, can offer such important benefits for the bladder. Beyond flavor, red onions bring properties that can transform how the body handles urinary infection, bringing relief and long-term health. Pineapple is one of the most beloved tropical fruits, but many people don't realize it's a powerful ally for urinary health. That's because it contains an enzyme called bromelain, known for its anti-inflammatory and digestive properties. Bromelain helps reduce internal inflammation, easing irritation often linked with urinary infection. For those who've felt a sore or sensitive bladder, bromelain can bring noticeable relief. In addition to reducing inflammation, Pineapple is rich in vitamin C, an essential nutrient that boosts the immune system and creates an environment less favorable for bacterial growth. Adding it to your diet strengthens your immunity while increasing protection against recurring infections. Another key point is pineapple's high water content, which promotes hydration and more efficient urine elimination. The more urine the body produces, the easier it is to flush out microbes before they stick to the bladder walls. It's almost like every piece of pineapple acts as a natural rinse for the urinary system. Practically, pineapple can be eaten fresh, in juices, fruit salads, or even savory dishes alongside lighter meats. The best option is fresh pineapple, avoiding sugary processed versions that cancel out many of the benefits. Because it's affordable and delicious, pineapple combines the pleasure of a sweet, refreshing food with real bladder health benefits. Making it part of your daily routine is a simple but powerful way to strengthen your body and lower the risk of infection relapse. Among all fruits, few are as directly helpful for the bladder as watermelon. With more than 90% water content, it's basically solid natural juice. This high water volume stimulates urine production, flushing out toxins and bacteria that try to build up in the urinary tract. For people with recurrent urinary infections, this natural cleansing effect is one of the greatest allies in preventing future crises. But watermelon isn't just water. It also contains antioxidants like lycopene, which protect the body's cells against damage from inflammation. This antioxidant effect is important for keeping the bladder healthy, reducing irritation, and reinforcing its defenses. Another benefit is how light it is. Watermelon is easy to digest, refreshing, and perfect for hot days when the body loses more fluids and risks dehydration. Staying hydrated is crucial to dilute urine, lower waste concentration, and make it harder for bacteria to grow. This combination of hydration and antioxidants makes watermelon a special choice. It can be eaten in slices, blended into juice, or added to light salads. Naturally sweet, it doesn't need added sugar, making it even healthier. Some people even use the rind in juices or recipes, since it has extra nutrients that benefit the body. What seems like just a refreshing fruit can actually work as a silent cleaner for the bladder. By boosting urine flow and supplying antioxidants, watermelon helps reduce urinary infections in a simple and effective way. Garlic is one of those foods almost everyone has at home, but it's often undervalued. When it comes to bladder health, known for centuries as a natural antibacterial, it contains sulfur compounds like allicin, which directly fight harmful microbes, including the bacteria that cause urinary infections. This makes garlic an important ally for anyone looking to strengthen their body and prevent painful relapses. Beyond its antibacterial effect, garlic is also anti-inflammatory. Consumed regularly, it reduces inflammation tied to urinary infection, easing burning, pressure, and discomfort in the bladder area. For seniors with sensitive systems and lower immunity, this extra support is especially valuable. Garlic also stimulates the immune system. Studies show it enhances the body's natural defense against invaders, making infections harder to establish. In this way, garlic not only directly targets bacteria, but also strengthens the entire body. You can consume garlic in many ways: raw in small amounts, crushed in sauces, sautéed in meals, or even in medicinal teas with lemon and honey. Regular consumption is best, always respecting tolerance levels, since too much can cause stomach discomfort. Garlic stands out because of this triple benefit. It fights bacteria, reduces inflammation, and boosts immunity. In other words, it gives triple protection for those who suffer from urinary infection, showing that simple solutions can have significant effects when used wisely and consistently. Cucumber is light, refreshing, and inexpensive, but behind its simplicity lies powerful urinary health benefits. Like watermelon, cucumber has very high water content, which supports hydration and stimulates urine flow. This increase helps wash out the bladder, pushing out microbes before they settle in and cause new infections. For people with recurrent episodes, this natural cleansing is powerful. It's also rich in fiber, which supports digestion and gut regulation. It may not seem directly related, but poor digestion or constipation increases pressure on the bladder and allows bacteria to thrive nearby. By supporting gut health, cucumber indirectly protects the urinary system. It also provides minerals like potassium and magnesium, which regulate fluid balance and support kidney function. Healthy kidneys benefit the entire urinary tract, reducing bladder strain. An important detail: most nutrients and fiber are in the skin, so whenever possible, eat cucumber with the peel, well washed, to get the full benefit. Add it to salad, detox juices, sandwiches, or eat it in slices as a quick, refreshing snack. Cucumber may not be as famous as other foods in fighting infection, but its mix of hydration, minerals, and fiber makes it a quiet ally. Keeping it in your routine is a simple, cheap, and effective way to support bladder health and reduce infection recurrence. Now, we've reached the final stretch of our list, and it's time to reveal the top 3 foods for protecting the bladder and preventing urinary infections in seniors. Each one plays a unique role, but together, they form a strong natural barrier against recurring crises. In third place, hibiscus tea. Light and aromatic, it has antioxidant and diuretic properties. This means it reduces inflammation and increases urine production, helping flush out bacteria. It's practical and can be enjoyed daily, hot or cold. In second place, coconut water, a natural hydrator full of minerals like potassium and magnesium. It not only replenishes fluids quickly, but also helps alkalinize urine, making it harder for microbes to grow in the urinary tract. For those who've felt the burning sensation, this pH shift can bring real relief. And finally, in first place, blueberries. Like cranberries, they contain compounds that prevent bacteria from sticking to the bladder walls. But blueberries stand out for their high concentration of antioxidants, which strengthen the immune system and offer wide protection for the whole body. It's like having a natural bodyguard for your urinary health. With this complete top 10, you now have a real arsenal of foods capable of transforming how your body handles urinary infection. These aren't miracle cures, but smart choices that, added to your routine, can bring concrete, lasting results. And before wrapping up, I really want to ask for your help. Subscribe to the channel so our community can grow and we can reach 1,000 subscribers. And leave a comment telling me which of these 10 foods you already eat or plan to add to your routine. Remember, we need at least 100 comments for YouTube to share this content with more people who struggle with urinary infection. Your participation is essential. See you in the next video.